Let's rock and roll, buddy. What's going on YouTube? Fun back here. Just going out for a little ride up north to the racetrack. Got to top up the water pumps that we've got on loan for the weekend. Just me and my buddy Rob here. And I figured I'd do my first official moto vlog. Now, this ain't my camera and mic setup. It's my mic, not my camera. A friend of mine lent me his Drift HD 1080. It's not the Ghost. I'm having some issues with it. It's got three settings: 1080, 720, and SD. And on my computer, if it's 720 or SD, no matter what other setting it's on for frames per second, it's really jumpy and jittery when I load it up onto my computer. I have a 1080 GoPro as well as a 720 GoPro. And the 720 and the 980 and the 1080 all work fine when I upload it, but for some reason the Drift it won't. And maybe you guys had this experience and you know what it is. Is it my program that I'm using, or is my computer just fucking old? And it's around 4 or 5 years old. Mac laptop. But it's just strange how I can view one and can't view the other properly. But other than that, I figured I'd let you guys know on my little history of motorcycles. Where I came from in the motorsports world. My dad had a DX225 shaft drive that I used to keep in the garage. It had flat tires, and I used to pull it out of the corner, air up the tires, go for a ride, put it back in the corner, deflate all the tires, and he was none the wiser. Which was awesome. But then during that same amount of time that I was using that bike, I had a friend's DR200 and I was riding it and ended up getting into a little crash on that one and ended up breaking my left thumb. I had to get a surgery to put 2 pins on the corner to hold everything together. But then from there I ended up getting the 3-wheeler given to me when I moved back to New Brunswick from Newfoundland, and I ended up trading it for a PE 175. Now the PE 175 worked great, well, sounded great. The guy had put a stator from an Iron 125 in it, and just didn't seem to want to have a lot of jam. Like I'd probably get 45k out of this bike top gear if I was lucky. But anyway, I ended up on the operating table with that one as well. I tore my main ACL on my left knee. Again, it only had front brakes like the DR only had. And that laid me up for 6 months. But then from there I never rode bike very often, rode quads, 3-wheeler, stuff like that, but not much for dirt bikes. And then I came to Fort McMurray, and that's about a year working here. I ended up buying a brand new 2002 XR 650. I rode her for about a year before doing any mods to it, and then I just did your basic HRC upgrade kit. I also ended up putting titanium high floor headers on it. But just before I did that, after the HRC kit, I ended up crashing it pretty good. bruised a couple ribs, sprained my ankle, broke my left foot peg, or right foot peg right off the bike. And I was urinating blood for about a week. Every day I had to go to the hospital to get my blood urine content checked. But I kept riding it afterwards, after I got all fixed up. I was even still riding it while I was still all banged up. Bent handlebars, bent fucking missing peg. And then by in about 05, 06, I ended up just not having the best of luck for jobs. I was moving around quite a bit, living room to room. I just parked it. I was kind of changing careers at the same time too. So I couldn't afford to maintain it, so I just parked it. And then here it is recently, I figured with all this running around back and forth to the racetrack, I was running a 2500 HD Dodge with a 24 valve Cummins in it, and the fuel was just immense. It cost me a fortune. Within 2 months I spent about $2,000 in fuel just back and forth to the racetrack. So needless to say, I figured this here would be a much cheaper alternative, and it has been. So I sold my truck, sold a few other things to collect up the money I needed, and then I had to go even get my license. I didn't have a license, so I had to go get that. My buddy Rob did a lot of running around with me, the permit. And then here, first part of May, I got my license. Sitting about 5440 kilometers. And also I crashed the fucking bike about 800k into my riding on the bike. Ended up low siding myself, wasn't going too fast. Fast enough to hurt my pride. Other than that, yeah, if you guys got any questions and comments, feel free to ask, comment below. Other than that, just stay tuned. Hopefully I'll have some more. I'm pretty busy, so I'm not getting as many up as some of these other vloggers are doing. And the fact is, I'm just starting, and I've done this so many times now that